Okay, there's 3 books up here. These are the books that I use, just 3. There's so many books on Chinese medicine. You're welcome to come take a picture, okay, and then get them off of Amazon or whatever. A lot about personality in here, a lot about physical things. I would pass them around, but my 3-year-old destroyed this one, so like all the pages are coming out of it. You're welcome to look at them. I don't want them to walk away because I will track you down. So you're welcome. I'll put one here. We'll start one here, and we'll start one here. Remember, this is the broken one. Be careful. Okay, so we are going to go into nails. Did everybody that wanted to get their pH collected? Okay. For the saliva or the urine. Any questions after lunch? Anything pop up?
Yeah, I've written it down.
Okay. Moving on.
Tracey?
Yes.
So these are 3 books you recommend because those of us that want to learn more about tongue analysis, facial analysis, these are the books you were talking about.
Correct. Let's keep this one going this way. We'll just stay on our sides, and then we can flip-flop. Yeah, these are the 3 books that are basically, in layman's terms, there are some really good Chinese medicine, Eastern practices. Trinity School of Natural Health, where I teach, we offer an Eastern practices course. It's within one of our curriculum, but you can take classes a la carte, so you don't have to take entire designations if you don't want to. So, you can pick these books up on Amazon. Like I said, take a picture of it, whatever you want to do. But these are just 3 basic books. One's more geared towards personality. One is more geared towards physical. The other one's geared more towards, basically traditional things that have been passed along through generations. Okay? So 3 things, 3 books, good resources. So finishing up the tongue, I had mentioned before, they're epithelial cells. It'll turn over in 3 days. So this is a great way to help your clients just have a real quick indicator. Am I doing the right thing? Do I feel better? And can I see that? Okay? All right, let's move on to nails. This is a great way to learn habits of your clients. Okay? Nail biters. Are they calm people or anxious people? Yeah, okay. Picking nails, biting nails, that's just a good indication that you got a nervous person in there. So when I see that type of anxiety or nerves, I'm connecting enteric nervous system, gut and brain. I think Dr. Ella was here and did a great seminar on that gut-brain connection, and I think it's on NF's. You still have it on your site. It's a really good lecture. So that can tell you a lot about a person and how to build that gut-brain connection. I listen when people tell me about their nails, especially women, especially if I can't see them. If they have manicures or gels, they'll say to, oh, they break all the time, or they split, or my nails are terrible. Those are good key things to listen for with nails. Hold your client's hand. Basically, I'm going to hold your hand, Fred. We're going to hold hands.
I was dreaming
Nice.
of this.
I just want. Were you dreaming of it? So nice. So you want to feel temperature. A lot of times you can feel people kind of tremoring or shaking. Okay, that's going to tell you a lot about circulation. People with cold hands, their circulation is going to be compromised. Okay. Okay, so here's what I look for with the nails. Lanulas. These are moons. Okay, so we're going to draw a finger here, maybe. May get my artwork going on for you. Do. Super awesome. Okay, so we have a nail, and at the base of the nail there should be a moon. Okay? They're on the fingers, and everyone's like, I don't have moons. What's that mean? They should be on every finger except for your pinky. You don't want moons on your pinky. If you have moons on your pinky, that usually indicates heart stress. Okay? And it doesn't mean that person's going to have a heart attack, so don't look at their hands and go, oh my gosh. Don't do that. That's in your head. You don't ever want to do that outside your head. Okay? But you're going to look for other indicators, aren't you? Where would you see heart on the tongue? Tip. What about the face? Nose. Okay, so we're going to start triangulating. Now we're looking at nails, now we got nose, we got tongue. If it shows up in 3 places, should I maybe muscle test for some need to support the heart? Hawthorne, CoQ10, something, cardiostack, right? Okay. All right, so lunulas or moons tell me about circulation. And somebody was saying, can you tell me about spleen? Can you tell me about this on the nails? This is a big indicator for me if I find the other signs of thyroid. If I don't see moons, I know we have thyroid. If I see the eyebrows diminishing, the double lines on the neck, and there's no moons on the fingers, guess what I'm going to go after? I'm going to say you might need some thyroid support. Okay? Vertical lines, which are kind of white, and they can be very faint, thin lines. Okay? This is assimilation issues. Minerals, nutrients. You'll see this a lot in elderly people. They just don't assimilate their nutrients as well. Our digestion starts to decline. Our hydrochloric acid starts to decline when we go older. So those people need more support. If the vertical lines are raised, and you can see these, you can actually feel them. Like when you run your fingers across the nail, they actually will be raised white kind of lines. Okay, they look like a line, but you can feel it. Sometimes you'll just have one on every nail, or one on one nail. Okay, if you have them on every nail, this is a good sign of systemic candida. Okay, candida, yeast. If you have one on one nail, it might be the start of some candida or yeast. And where else could I check for that? What's it look like on the tongue?
White.
Coating, right? What about on the face? Where might I look? What would I look for? Some signs. Maybe acne. Okay, acne maybe in the bladder, kidney. Remember, when you cleanse out yeast, it dumps to lymphatic. Lymphatic dumps where? Kidney, bladder, okay? So a lot of times I'll get women to have reoccurring UTIs over and over and over again. Guess what I'm going to clear out? Candida or parasites, and I'm going to muscle test to figure out which one I need to, and I'm going to triangulate on the face, and I'm going to ask questions. Okay, we have products to support. All right, scooping of the nail beds. This is always when I draw sideways. So the nail literally kind of looks like this, and it scoops downward. Okay? I'm doing pretty good at this artwork today. I'm kind of proud of myself. So this is a big digestive issue. And the scooping can also be kind of hollowed, you know, not just sweeping down, but you can have a nail that's flat and then have kind of a V formation in that nail. Okay, so that it literally like scoops in the center. That's a big indicator of digestion, hydrochloric acid need. Sometimes you'll see this only on one nail. Sometimes you'll see it on all nails. It just kind of tells you how long it's been there and how chronic it is. Okay? Color of the nail beds. And we've talked about color of the tongue indicating deficiencies. Would it be possible if my tongue was white? Would I might look at the nail beds and see that they are white? Maybe the same deficiency will show up in areas. Okay? Same with hot red tongue, a lot of fire. You might see a hot red nail bed or purple nail bed because of the stagnation of the blood, too much heat. Okay? So what deficiency would white be? Iron. Good. All right, horizontal ridges are dense, and these go across the nail this way. This will literally be something that you can palpate in the center of the nail or back of the nail or tip of the nail. Some people have them the whole way across like this. Okay? These are stress indicators. And here's a really cool way to kind of gauge what happened to your clients. Your nails will grow out in 6 months from back to tip. If I have a horizontal ridge going across the middle of my thumb or finger, how long ago was that stress? 3 months. So when I touch someone's hand, hi Fred, I'm back. I'll take this one. And I will literally touch their nails and look for ridges, horizontal. If I can feel that, I'll look where it is on the nail, and I may ask, what happened 2 or 3 months ago? What happened 6 months ago? And you know, I had a client one time who she had one across every nail in the exact same place, right in the middle, boom, 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 boom. And I said, what happened 3 months ago? And she's like, oh, I got divorced. How did you know that? And I'm like, well, I didn't know that. I just knew something stressful happened. It could be a sickness, okay? It could be something that they're trying to overcome. So I was telling a story yesterday. I was sick about 10 months ago. I got pneumonia. I was really sick, working too much, not taking care of my foundation. And my thumbs literally had horizontal ridges the whole way. I mean, they were terrible. And I would show Lynn, I'm like, look at this, look at this. And now they're completely clear, okay? So your body will regenerate if you do the right things for it. But you can see, if you have all those ridges like this, that means that body was in chronic stress. There was something major going on, and it took a while to get out of it. Okay, we talked about base color. I'm not sure why I did that twice. I guess it's really important to me. White dots. What's white dots? Zinc. Yeah. So if you see them on every nail, we know we have a deficiency, right? What if you have a white dot just on one nail? That can be zinc. It can also be a hormone indicator of the endocrine system needing some support. Where else would I look for that? Chin, thyroid, adrenals. I'm going to look at the client and think, what system needs support in your endocrine system? What am I looking for? If I see white dots on all nails, I'm going to be like, you need some trace minerals, you need a little extra zinc. We need to support your immune system starting to go down. You're not assimilating or taking in enough good zinc or trace minerals. Cracking or peeling, basic assimilation issues. This can also be candida if there's a little yellow? Yeah, that's a new color. It's yellow. Quiet, Fred. Yellow under base coloring. Okay, that can be candida. Cracking and peeling can also indicate that you're not assimilating enough nutrients. The question is always why? Why are they not assimilating? Is there a parasite there? Are they not eating enough nutrition? They're not getting enough good fats? Remember, this is collagen, right? Your nails are just collagen. So protein is very important for nail development. Breaking down protein is very important. Okay, red or white horizontal bands of color. This is a tough one to show, but I'm going to try to show it. So when you're positioning your nails to look at them, and we'll go over this again, you shouldn't have the client go like this. Because what am I doing when I do that? Restricting what? Blood flow. Okay, so when I do that, my nails are going to turn white. They're not going to give me a true base. So you're going to have your client do this and either show you that way or give them your hand this way. Okay, you want them relaxed. Now, if they do this, that's fine. I usually take their hand and then I'll bend their fingers. That's okay too, but you don't want them like grabbing your hand. Like Fred, he was like relentless up here. I'm like, let go. So what we're looking for with the red and white bands is you will literally have a band of purpley red color here. Right above the moon or where the moon should be, or you might have like a purplish red base. You can also have it up here, like right at the tip of the nail. Okay, this is called a liver band. And that's just a sign that your liver needs some attention. Needs support, might need cleansed, you might need to let go of frustration and anger, whatever that is. Where would I see other liver signs? Face, right here, yep, tongue, sides of the tongue, okay? If it's red, purple, bluish, it's all stagnation, okay? So I don't really determine like, oh, that's red, so that means this. I look at it and say, okay, there's some stagnation in the liver. Now, in between there, you might see someone who has white, like a really prominent white band of color across their nail. That's kidney. Okay, and they'll run this way. And it'll be thicker. It's not going to be just like a line. It'll be like a band of color, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, so red is liver, white is kidney. Where could I see kidney? Eyes, back of the tongue. Okay. All right. Somebody asked me about big taste buds in the back. Some people have more taste. But really, if you have engorged and large taste buds, they are trying to get bigger for you to get the sensory. So you need some digestive enzymes so you can calm those down. Okay? You're not breaking down your food. So these are the bands of color I was talking about. See that right there? Okay. Does this person have any moons? No moons. Band of color there. So I know we have some liver congestion, might have some circulation issues, but that would make sense, right? Obviously, she would have circulation issues if her liver is not functioning well and she's not oxygenating her blood and cleaning it out appropriately. This one's a little bit tougher to see, but if you zoom in, do you see how dark his nails are? They're kind of purple. That's a lot of blood stagnation. This, okay, so pitting, do you see these little tiny dots? Okay. And Jamie got the gold star on this one yesterday. That's candida, if you have pitting like that. So again, moons are not really present. They're not well formed, even if there's a little bit of white there. But she also, you see those vertical lines too? How they kind of lay underneath. They're not real prominent white, but you can see that there's something going on. Okay, redness around the cuticles. What would you think that means? Inflammation, yeah. This is a #1 sign, especially in kids, parasites. Okay, the second sign is nail biting, grinding of the teeth, especially when sleeping, and bedwetting. Okay, yeah.
Dr. Ellis said drooling in your sleep.
Yep, drooling, yep. Yeah. Okay, nail bends down. This is absolute assimilation issues. Okay? Each nail means a different thing. Each finger means a different thing. One's reproductive, so on and so forth. But just know if you have a client walking in and the nail at the tip is like beveling or bending down, that's an assimilation issue. Easy things for that. Digestive enzymes. Help them break down their foods. Ask them, are you eating real food? Are you eating non-food? Okay? Your body's going to know what to do with real food. So coenzymes are what? What's a coenzyme? Raw food, because it contains vitamins and minerals. Those are your coenzymes. Your enzymes are what they bind to and make magic happen. All right, so that's a moon. We covered that. That's a nice healthy moon. Do you see that? It's kind of round. It's a good distance. People would have really big moons. They're very, very fiery personalities. They need calm down. Like they are aggressive and not in a healthy way. Not in a mean way. They're just super big go-getters. Okay? Example of not having any moons. Okay? Go ahead. Where are you? Who asked me what? I have pretty good hearing, but I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Circulation or thyroid issues, depending on what else you see. Okay? Yellowing of the nails, this can mean a couple of things. This can be candida, obviously. It can also be some liver issues. Okay? You're also going to look at the eyes, skin, if you're suspecting liver. They're yellow. Anybody ever see clubbing? Okay. Right, lung problems.
Now, if you correct a lot of what's going on,
Yep, your nails will
the nails
regenerate.
will return?
Mhm.
Okay.
So how long would you expect to see? He had a good question. He said, if you correct what's going on, will the nails go back? Yeah. You will see that result in 6 months, right? Because the nail grows out in 6 months. But my thumb corrected. I don't have ridges on my thumbs. See? They're nice and smooth. They were so serrated, like it was amazing. Your body will fix itself. I always tell people, at the very bare minimum, I will make you look 10 years younger. Like, let's do that. So if you want to fix this, you want to fix these, you want to fix your tongue, start from the inside out. That's where it happens. Okay, this is zinc deficiency. See all those spots all the way across? That's scooping. Okay, that's your digestive issue problem. He even has a little bit of yellow in there. Do you see that? A little bit of yellow sitting in that pit. I would probably muscle test for yeast or candida. All right, do you see that horizontal ridge right there? Boop, boop. Okay, that's stress. That was Tracey's nail when I was sick. Boom. Okay, now it's your turn. You're going to get back with your partner, and you're going to do a nail analysis on each other. Write down anything that stands out to you. You don't have to remember what it means at the time. And then we're going to practice pulling these together with face, tongue, and nail. We're going to make some recommendations then. So again, 5 minutes. Then do a candida cleanse like 2 weeks later. Don't do it now. It's neurologically, depression, anxiety. I mean, she's a good teacher, and you'll learn a lot from her. She's a big RBTIer too. Oh, and the stress lines? That's where I get mine first, always. Like, I'm always like, oh, I'm stressed. Look at that. Here it goes. So, now that you have sat with your partner, looked at their nails, we're going to pull it all together. Did you see anything in all 3 places? Did you see on the tongue, on the face, on the nail, anything with that person that you were assessing? How many had 3? Okay? Okay, good. What did you see? Sorry. Oh, can we talk about you?
Shaking.
Shaking, adrenals, okay.
Liver.
Liver congestion.
What else? And maybe inflammation.
Okay, so that's good. Saw a little bit of adrenals and saw some, liver congestion. Okay. Anybody else? 3s? Go ahead. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to show you how to take this back to pH now, okay? Did you have any, and when I talk about trifectas, like for example, did you have a heavy liver band on your nails, liver lines between the eyes, and then teeth marks on the side of the teeth? If we're looking at the tongue, was there a heavy line down the center that tells me your digestion is off? Then you would have those vertical lines, those white vertical lines on your nails, which would tell me assimilation problems, and maybe redness on your cheeks or acne. So that's stomach meridian, right? So I know I got a digestion, and a digestion. Okay. What about nail fungus, right? Any yellowing of the nails, heavy coating on the tongue, maybe acne in the forehead area. Remember we talked about kidney, bladder, maybe acne on the cheeks. Okay, that would be yeast. Okay, so I look for 3s. If I have a 3, I'm going to address that issue first. Okay, because that's what's screaming the loudest. It's the screaming child, I always say. You get a small signal at first, and you say, go into the room, I'm cooking dinner, and then that child comes back and he says, but mommy, I need you to come into the room, and you're like, would you please go, I'm cooking dinner, and then finally there's some epic crash in the living room, and suddenly you run into the living room because that sign was big enough to get my attention. I don't want my clients to get to that screaming child syndrome. I want them to pay attention the first time their body goes, hey, there's something going on, and I'm going to give you a signal. I'm going to mess with your face. And I always say people end up in my office quicker when they can't poop or it lands on their face. They're in there going, what is this? What is this, right? So when you can see it, and now you can look for it, and you can see it on the face, see it on the tongue, see it on the nails, you're going to be able to address it quicker before it ends up in the blood. So when it ends up in the blood, it's been there a while, okay? So we want to get things before, preventive medicine, preventative care, whatever you want to call it. Okay, do you have stress bumps on your nails? Those would be those horizontal lines, not vertical, the horizontal. Okay, and when was it? Did you see anybody that had it? And sometimes people don't even realize that what happened 2 or 3 months ago caused so much stress on their body. That's how unaware of stress we are. Okay? When I looked at my nails and they were so bumped, I was like, oh, I'm under a lot of stress. Although to me, it felt normal. Didn't mean it was healthy for me, so I had to change my what was normal. Okay? The adrenal lines, maybe at the corners of the eyes, would couple with stress, right? Fight or flight. Your body starts fight or flight, fight or flight. Okay? And maybe when someone sticks their tongue out, their tongue shakes. So you can triangulate those things for that person and then ask, are you under a lot of stress? Right? You can't control it for them, but you can build other foundations to make their body able to tolerate it. Okay? All right, cracked lips or cold sores, maybe cracked in the tongue or spleen. So you can have that digestive line down the middle of the tongue and not see any other digestive issues. But then maybe you look at that client and their lips are kind of dry and cracked and they have a line here. Am I going to give them digestive enzymes? No, I'm going to give them something to build the immune system, right? Okay, maybe I'd recommend colostrum or Immunomax. I might say, hey, your spleen's suffering a little bit. Let's boost it. Okay? And then you have to ask, why? Why is your immune system going down? What is the stressor? Okay? All right, here's a case study. I'm going to have you guys work on this for a minute. You have a 10-year-old boy. pH is 5.2 urine, 7.2 saliva. So his lower body digestion, which is the urine, is 2 what? It is not too slow. That's it. No one gets a certificate. The lower body urine, which is on the top, remember how we write it, urine over saliva, is 5.2. Is it too fast or too slow? Too fast. Okay. His lower body is 7.2. Is his upper body digestion too fast or too slow? It's too slow. So we got 2 different speeds. Okay. This kid has what? What do you see on his tongue? What? We got dots. Okay. Remember, he's a 10-year-old boy. Okay. Inflammation is a little swollen. We got a hot red tip, a little bit white. What do you see on his nails? What did I say about nail biters? Parasites. What about his cheeks? Look at those cheeks, hot red, right? Stomach meridian. Okay, remember, you're not going to want to give Betazyme maybe to a 10-year-old, but you can take away foods that are tanking his digestive system and absolutely give him some probiotics. Okay? But if I see parasites on this kid, what should I do? It's not a trick question. Parasites. Yeah, Parasite Cleanse. What product do you have that you could use for a kid that they would actually take? Microgon. Yeah. GI Complete. Okay, probiotics. We got lots of stuff. Parents worry about alcohol or something in that, burn it off. Put it in some boiling water, burn it off. It'll be fine. I use it and I'm like, go to bed. No, I'm just kidding. Good night. So yeah, I would probably address parasites. With the urine pH being super fast and this being super slow, if we would draw that out on the graph, remember this is the saliva, super slow. This is 6.4 in the middle. And this is 5.2. Oops, sorry, this is urine. I'm lying. No, I'm not lying. I'm totally right. This is saliva, super slow. This is urine. Okay, if we draw that kite out, when I see people with very big kite spans and parasitic activity, they're losing a ton of energy, not only trying to pull digestion to the same pace, but trying to offset those parasites. I fix pH of digestion faster with probiotics and enzymes than anything else. And the way RBTI is taught, they push with calciums. Okay? I don't do that. I think calciums are hard to break down and digest. And really, if you can't break down protein, which is what calcium is for our protein assimilation, then you're not going to use that calcium anyway. So I use probiotics. Will probiotics help offset parasites in the gut? Yeah. Well, digestive enzymes, if you use them kind of systemically, like if I took Zyme maybe in between my meals on an empty stomach, would that help clean out my digestive system and maybe my lymphatic system and my blood because it's systemic enzyme therapy?
Emphatically,
Yes. Yeah. So there's all kinds of cool ways to use these products. Step outside the box. Okay, so I would tell this mama, we're going to do microgon. We're going to do maybe a quarter of the dose because he's a little kid. Probably MRT him, muscle test him to make sure the dosage was right. I would say, let's get some digestive enzymes in him on the first bite and 1 twice a day on an empty stomach. Help him out. And I put him on a probiotic. Probably the Frontier Biotics because they're a 5 billion CFU. I'd maybe work them up to 15 billion a day and then bring them back down and tell mommy, change the diet because all the sugar you're feeding them is not helping you. Okay, so with parents, you got to kind of love them where they are because if you tell them you can't feed your kid Krispy Kreme donuts anymore, they're like, oh my God, what am I going to feed him for breakfast? I don't know, food. And they're always like, well, he will only eat those for breakfast. And I'm like, does he drive himself there? Like, that's amazing, you know, amazing. So, all right, so this famous dude. What do you see? Okay, pH findings, 7.1 urine. So our lower body is too slow. What's slow lower body usually indicate? Constipation, yeah. And do we have a slow upper body? It's above 6.4, so it is 6.8 is still slow. So we got slow, slow. This dude is slow, slow. Okay. What do you see on his face? Colon. Yep, I see colon. Pancreas. Adrenals. He's got everything going on. So if I take a look at his tongue, and this is kind of a cool tongue because you can see right here, you see this thickness around the outside? Okay? That's called scooping because the outside has swelled up, okay? And the inside of the tongue has stayed the same. So the whole tongue isn't swollen, it's just the outside. So what part of the internal body could have inflammation? Liver, gallbladder, okay? We know that his digestion is slow, and we might be looking at liver, gallbladder, okay? So then I'm going to take a look at his nails, and then I'm going to see like maybe that liver band there, which is kind of faint, but you can see it. We also have some assimilation lines. With this particular guy, I would address colon and liver and gallbladder, okay? Gallbladder may need cleansed out or flushed. Keep in mind, he gets beat up by the liver that's not clean. Okay, because the gallbladder is just a little pouch that concentrates the bile from a 4x to a 10x, so 4 times concentration to a 10 times. That 10 times is then used to alkali your food that dumps from the stomach into the small intestine. If you don't have a gallbladder, you don't quite get that concentration. If you do have a gallbladder, the liver literally detoxifies itself into the gallbladder. And when the gallbladder gets congested, we blame the poor little gallbladder, right? When it's really the liver's fault. So when you do a gallbladder cleanse on anybody or assist the gallbladder, make sure you address the liver, okay? Because there's more stuff in there waiting to drop down into a nice clean box. Okay, this is your turn. You get to do your case. So you're going to get back with your partner. I want you to triangulate. If they have pH, use it. I want you to write recommendations for them. What would you do? Okay? I'm going to pull a few of you up. If you want to volunteer, you can. If not, I'm just going to pull you out of the crowd against your own will. My first non-volunteer is Dr. Weiner. So we're going to bring him up. So I'm going to let them go over their case as to what they saw. Okay, Dr. Weiner, you can start.
Anyhow, he has some lines in his forehead, nothing like mine. His beginning lines in his forehead. He has these dark corners in his eyes.
Yep.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured the forehead's probably small intestines or bladder. I think you said dark corners of the eyes, adrenal. And his ears stick out a little bit, nothing like President Obama, so he's probably a good listener. He has thin lips, I don't know what that means.
He's a little stubborn.
Is he stubborn? Okay, we won't tell your girlfriend that. And then his tongue, I don't know if you want to stick out your tongue.
Yeah, sure, why
It
not?
does have like grooves in the center there. And then I had seen mild, although it's very mild, indentation along the perimeter of the tongue. And then the tip is somewhat red. So I don't know if he has heart issues, or when we get to his fingers, you'll see, I don't know if you want to show your fingers. He has a few white dots, so we know that's zinc deficiency, and they're purplish. It's somewhat purplish, and small flat moons, which I'm not sure what
Okay.
the moons aren't as rounded on some of the fingers as like they are in mine. So here's what I came up with.
Your one ring finger moon is almost completely gone.
Yeah.
Well, his pH, it's interesting, it was 7.5, but you're in saliva,
Okay.
so that's pretty alkaline.
Yeah, so he's running slow, slow, right? Alkaline, alkaline.
So I guess slow is better than fast slow or slow fast, right?
It's a healing stage, so he's close to being better. Yep, I would agree.
Yeah, I
But
think
still,
he
when
was sick a while back. He said he had some bad roast beef, was it?
okay.
Very
So you probably know if I hear that, and I see circulation issues, alkaline, wrinkly here. My very first thing when someone tells me they had food poisoning is parasites. I'll go and test for parasites.
Okay.
So what I'm going to use now, can I use you for an example? All right, so we're going to learn muscle testing again, and to confirm some things, and I'll teach you some key things. We're also going to learn how to test for products, okay? Because that's powerful. So I just want to hold your hand. We're just going to hold hands. So I'm going to raise his arm. First, you always ask permission to touch, because if I walk up to somebody, I'm like, hi, it's just weird. So if I just say, may I touch you? Okay. Any injuries to this arm? You want to ask for injuries, past, present, or future, because people will go, and then you start pushing. They're like, oh, wait, I did have surgery. So ask. Any injuries? Okay. So then you want to ask them, is it okay if I put some pressure to this arm? You're going to raise it up and pull it forward just a little bit, and you are going to press down with equal pressure. You're going to resist my push. Resist. Okay, I don't want to stare him in the eyes, because if I do resist, I can make him weak. Okay, because I am that powerful. No, I'm just kidding. It just psychs people out. So don't stare your clients down. Also, don't make him hold his arm out forever. Okay, the next thing I would do is check his polarity. You can either check it on top of the head, okay, connecting the negative to positive or repelling, or you can check it at the chest. I'm short, I always check at the chest. So I'm going to check your polarity. Resist. Resist. Okay, so he's on. If he would have went weak here, that means his polarity is reversed, and then I would make him do silly things like cross crawl to reconnect those lines. Okay, so what we're going to do is ask, what was your first product recommendation?
I was recommending Adrenal Max 2.
Okay, where are the adrenals? Above the kidneys, right. So would I test his adrenals here? No, where am I going to put my hand? And the adrenals, right? And then I would ask somebody to bring me Adrenal Max 2. So I'm going to first confirm that my adrenal assessment, resist, is correct. Resist. So 2 times. I pushed down, he went weak. Thank you, Candace. Then I would say, can you hold this product? Okay, resist. And I'm going to put my hand to the adrenal. Resist. Okay, that's not his product. Okay?
No.
That doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that might not be his primary. So it's what is he showing me? Can I have micro gone? Okay. So this may not be it. It might be an assimilation issue. Remember we talked about maybe there's parasites in there. Maybe they're going to eat this. I'm not sure. So I will then grab something else. It's okay. It's a tincture. It's all right. If you don't have it, I'll just pull the frequency in.
The Paracleanse also.
Yeah, Paracleanse.
You know,
So this is where, as a practitioner, thank you, you could have a bunch of things on there that you want, but let's find out what his body wants, okay? Okay, hold that, resist. Okay, he liked that better. Okay, this is the adrenal tincture. So maybe his body better assimilates this. So then you can literally say, okay, hold this, we're gonna muscle test you, so we're gonna do 6 dropperfuls a day. Okay, 8, 7, resist. Nope, he's good at 6 dropperfuls a day. I would tell him to take 2, 2, and 2, come back and do something again later. And I would tell him if you start to feel like, you know, jittery or whatever, cut that back. So you want to empower them to kind of feel what their body feels. When I gave something like this to somebody, she went out, took it the very first time, and she was like, I immediately felt that. She's like, I felt so much better. And it was just the one product that I didn't add, okay? So we're going to learn muscle testing for all your confirmations. I'm going to have you first demonstrate muscle testing to me as I walk you through it, and then you're going to check your list. Okay, go ahead. What was next?
Zinc.
Zinc? Yeah, I would definitely say he's a zinc need. I wouldn't even have to muscle test, but if he
I
had
already know
waist
that
off.
beforehand,
Right,
too.
yeah.
And even
So,
as soon as I eat the zinc lozenge, I can taste the zinc.
oh,
which is
okay.
usually how
Yep,
they
a
do
good
that testing.
indicator. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Paracleanse, yeah. So what's our parasite test? Parasite, pinky, candida, ring finger. So I would ask him, sorry, what's your name?
Ross.
Ross, can you put your pinky to your thumb? Okay. Arm out, and I would tell him, resist. Okay. Can you put your ring finger to thumb? Your other ring finger?
Oh, ring
There you
finger.
go. Okay. Resist. Okay. Do you see how he went weak there? So he tested positive. Yes, strong for parasites, weak on candida. So it's parasites. So then I would do this. Can you hold this product? Okay, resist. Okay, and he tests strong for it. So then you could test how many. You can walk this through whatever. You can very much confirm your findings without having doodads and gadgets. Okay, easy stuff. So correct. Next.
How about iodine?
Iodine? We have zinc here. I don't know. If you already now.
I didn't mean iron. I mean iron.
Iron?
Sorry,
Okay.
Iron, yeah.
So with Ross, he said did you eat a zinc
Yeah.
lozenge? Okay. So if I test him for this and he goes weak, does that mean he doesn't need it? What's it mean?
I already have it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. He took it. So make sure you ask. You know, when people say, should I take my supplements before I come in? And you tell them yes, and then you're testing them for supplements and they're going weak on you, they might have the right supplement, right? Because they know. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, okay, so his pH is off,
Mm-hmm.
and now, you know, as far as the iron or the zinc, if his pH isn't in the right numbers, it's not going to absorb it anyway.
Correct.
Right?
So I would adjust the pH, okay?
So we're just going to hold off on.
Well, I'm just testing what he is, and I'm going to bring it back to pH, okay? But a great question. So zinc, yeah, we'll test him for this and see if he needs it. Resist. So yeah, he probably needs more than 1 lozenger. So I tell him maybe start up to 30 milligrams and then bring it back down, okay? So her question was, if his pH is alkaline, 7.7, you know, how do we bring that down, and will this all assimilate? If I see alkaline pH on a male, I'm going to see a red flag right away, okay? And I'll ask him questions probably about prostate health. That's my very first thing. I'm going to look for the chin dimple. I'm going to ask questions about urination. Is it a steady stream? Do you find yourself frequently urinating? And if he's like, nope, then I'm going to be like, okay, it's an alkaline pH. It's probably the parasite. So I would personally take out the parasites first so that every other thing I'm throwing into the system, he is not giving to the parasites. The parasites are like, yummy, Adrenamax, yeah, we're stronger. And then he gets the byproduct of that. So I'd probably pull parasites and maybe put him on the adrenal tincture with it because his adrenals are stressed right now. And then I would say, come back in 3 weeks. We're going to see what happens. At that point, I'd probably put him on digestive enzymes, probiotics to rebuild the gut, maybe GI complete, and I'd see him in 2 months. Maybe a month. It depends on how compliant you are. I'm not sure about you. You're a good listener, though. So
Well, you didn't test the iron.
I can test the iron. I sure
It's
can.
like
But I'm
purple-
going to say, yeah, I'm going to absolutely say he's deficient. But if it is a parasitic thing, which you said, you wanted Parasite Cleanse in there, when we put in the iron, it will help, but we got to get rid of those parasites first. So absolutely, the iron may be needed, but I would clear the parasites and then retest all your recommendations. Retest your iron, retest your zinc. See if those needs are still there or if the parasites were the culprits taking out his nutrition. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay. Do you want me to test the iron? You have the easy iron? Is it up there? Oh. Fred? So your muscle testing point for iron is right here along the hip line, right hip. Okay? So I would take my hand right here in the crease of where his thigh meets the hip bone, and I would say resist. Okay? Resist. Come on, be strong. Okay, he is showing deficiency, so I would put this in. Okay, resist, and he's strong. So he's good. Dr. Weiner, you're very impressive. Very good. So that was good. So it would not hurt him to walk out with adrenal, iron, zinc, and Paracleanse and support his body through that detox process. Would not hurt. If a client comes back and says, I can't afford all that, you give them the most needed, and you bring them back and you follow up and recheck those points. And you can recheck all that. Does that make sense? Okay? All right, good. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Does anybody else want to come up? Or I'll just randomly pluck you out of the audience. Come on. Who's your partner? Does your partner want to come up, or did he looked at her like, what are you doing? All right, who's doing the recommendations?
I'll do the recommendation.
All right. So introduce yourself. Where are you from?
My name's Vince. I work out of Meadville and Cranberry.
And you are?
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm from Canton, Ohio.
Vince, I'm going to give you a microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so the observations, face reading, so a little bit of thinness on the edge of her eyebrows there, and then something that Tracey pointed out, a couple of lines on her neck and everything, so kind of looking at thyroid possibly or some other endocrine issues. On the tongue, a little bit of scalp on the edge, so maybe some
Sure.
liver detox there. A little
This
bit.
is all being recorded.
And then on the nails, overall she has nail polish on, so it's a little bit hard to read on that, but no moons on some of her fingers. We did see that, just a little bit of nail polish not on that area. And I think that was pretty much it we found with that. So.
Yep. So when they asked me a question about her nails, this is where you're grateful when people don't keep up with their manicures, because you can see at least if there is a moon or not. You got to take some mommy time. So, and then asking questions. Right, asking questions. So he was saying, I don't see much on her. I mean, her face it's beautiful, right? There's no wrinkles. There's not a lot of indicators on there. But if you look closer, if you ask a question, and my question was, we saw the adrenal, right? So he pointed out the adrenal. He pointed out the thyroid. I was like, why are you tired? And she said, I'm a new mom. I have a baby. And I was like, oh, you have tired mom syndrome. So does she have anything really substantial wrong at this point? Probably not, but we need to support her because we can see that there are some issues happening. And when you're pregnant, your hormones increase by 50%, okay? So your thyroid's going, we got all kinds of stuff in there going, endocrine's like, yeah! 6 weeks after you have the baby, it drops to normal. Boom! And that's when we're like, oh my gosh, right? You get postpartum depression. And it's really a hormone fluctuation. Plus you're nursing, okay, so she's giving away a lot of nutrients. So he asked these questions and he knew all that. So what's your recommendations?
So I initially thought of liver detox, but if she's nursing, she
Right.
doesn't want to do that. So maybe like the Thyro Complete or Iodine Plus.
Mhm.
Maybe one of those
Yep.
two products right now for support.
Good, yeah. Would anybody add in anything else?
What about proline greens?
Proline greens, good suggestion, because that would support the liver without causing a detoxifying effect and give her some nutrition, which she's probably not eating with 4 kids and a newborn, right? Are you ever eating?
I sometimes.
Okay, good. Yeah, like half a chicken nugget. That's the mommy diet. You get like half a chicken nugget. That's all you get.
I'm a plant-based eater.
Okay, well, good. So there's another question. What'd she just say? I'm a plant-based eater. Okay. Are you a pastitarian?
I know.
Okay, good. So, go ahead, Mike. Super B, yeah. Right, yeah. So we could support her and bring back this endocrine system, bring back this thyroid, bring back the adrenals. But remember, you're always asking questions, always, okay? Get to the core of what's going on, because if we didn't know she was a nursing mama, that looks completely different than if you know, oh, she's given all her energy away and nutrients to a newborn baby and 3 other children. So not sleeping, right? So we kind of have to love her where she is. So I would probably go more iodine for right now. I mean, you could pick, and we're going to muscle test, where these are. So injuries, may I touch you?
Yes.
Okay, is this your dominant arm, right hand?
I believe so.
Okay, so ask for the dominant arm because it gives them confidence. If someone's muscle testing me on my left, I'm going to feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I usually ask for dominant arm so they get confident. And, some people get skeptical. So they're like, you're pushing harder. I'm not pushing harder. I'm going to push really hard. No, I'm just kidding. So we're going to check her polarity. Okay, so you're going to resist my push. Resist. I give her a test so she knows how hard I'm going to push. Resist. Resist. Come on.
Uh-oh.
Be strong.
Sorry.
Resist. Now she's laughing. Don't make them laugh.
Okay.
Okay, don't stare me in the eye. Resist. Okay, you're so cute. I'm going to push down, you push up. That's how this works. Okay, good. I love you. All right, here we go. Resist. No, stop pushing. So every time I say resist, she pushes down. All right, I'll do it this way. Okay, resist. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. One more time. Resist. There we go. Now we got it. All right. Whew. All right, hold that. Resist. Okay. Iodine point, right here. Okay. Everybody put your finger on your iodine point. Thyroid point, 2 fingers around the thyroid. Okay, so you can test separately. I can go like this. Resist. I'm going to test her thyroid. Ooh, a little weak. I'm going to test her iodine. Resist. Not as weak, but a little weak. So you can have thyroid issues without thyroid deficiency. How would that happen? You can have thyroid issues without iodine deficiency is what I'm trying to say. How would that happen? Selenium, could be a selenium deficiency.
Other glands can affect it?
Other glands. Could be adrenals, right? Could be anything. So then we're going to go back here, test her adrenals, resist. Okay, her adrenals are weak. So we got adrenals, a little bit low iodine, a little bit low thyroid. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Mike's suggestion and your suggestion. I'm going to have her hold both Super B and iodine. Because will Super B help her adrenals? Sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through those points again. Resist, resist, resist. Okay, now I'm going to connect the iodine. You're so fluffy. I'm going to take my 1 finger in that little hole, and I'll put 2 fingers on her thyroid at the same time. So 3 fingers. Okay, resist. Okay, resist. Okay, so her thyroid shows a little bit still weak to me with just those 2. Adrenals were solid. Okay, iodine is solid with the iodine, but this is still pulling a little weak. Okay, so I might do okay, resist. Nope, her body doesn't like that one. How many hands do you have? Can you hold a bunch of stuff?
4 kids. So.
Look at her. Okay, balance, balance, be one with it. Okay, resist. Okay, so she probably does need the super greens with it to help with the liver. Okay, but even if she didn't, these 2 would help her a ton. Okay, so good assessment. So you need some B vitamins and some iodine. See you in 3 weeks. Go ahead. Sure, she can, but it's not a time for an estrogen detox. She's nursing. Yeah, so I could suggest stuff like, hey, drink grapefruit essential oil. That'll bring down estrogen at a natural, easy pace. Baby might not like it. But, you know, I mean, her estrogen levels, yeah, her hormones are still kind of out of whack. Now, when she's done nursing, that might be the time to address, let's check out and make sure everything went back to normal. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we just tested her for iodine, so
Mhm.
assuming, obviously her body needs it, so now do we have to recheck her pH to make sure that she'll assimilate that?
Yep, yep. As with anything, with your pH, what was her pH? Do you have it?
6.0 for urine and 6.4 for saliva.
Okay, so she had 6.0 for urine, so there's another flag for me. When I see urine acidic in women, and hers was 6.0, what's that tell me? It's from last time. Reproductive stress, right? Manganese. What do they tell mommies going to have babies to drink? Tones the uterus. What is it? What tea? Red raspberry tea. What's in red raspberry leaf tea? Manganese. Okay? So maybe some trace minerals in there. But to move this, her saliva is 6.4, her urine 6.0. I see that more as a deficiency with reproductive than a digestive. Do you know what I mean? I think her body's given me a signal a different way. So then I would ask her, do you have digestive issues? Okay, which one? Constipation?
Actually, I have a lot of heartburn.
Heartburn. Okay, so what's heartburn? A sign of too much or too low HCl? Too low. So maybe some Betazyme at the end of the meal, okay? Because we want that to sit on top, right? That'll help break down proteins and things that she needs to rebuild her endocrine system, because we use proteins for endocrine. So you're a good connector. Does that make sense? Okay? I will tell you, no matter what protocol I give people, every single person walks out with at least some sort of digestive enzyme and a probiotic. Every single person. Until I know that they're taking their new health and their digestion over with food. So when I talk pH, I give digestive enzymes and probiotics, and then I give whatever else is needed to get them through that healing phase. I bring them back, I retest. Does that make sense? Okay. Thanks, guys. Good job. All right. Does anybody else want to do it? Do you want to do it? Who is your partner?
He left.
Okay. No, we can't rat them out. Okay. Anybody else? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn to muscle test. How many people know how to muscle test? Okay. Good. How many people know how to sway test? Should be at least half of you. You were here last time, right? Okay. So we're going to learn basic muscle response testing. Where's Lynn? Did she leave me? She left me. Candace, can I borrow you? Okay. So Candace is a Trinity student. There she is. All right, this is comfy. Okay, so we're going to learn how to muscle response test. And I'm just going to flick through here. Boop. Work. Okay, so when I muscle response test, I face my client. There's people that stand behind them. It's really up to what you're comfortable with, okay? There's some basic things that you have to do legally before you place your hands on somebody if you are not a licensed practitioner. You have to ask for permission, okay? That's first. Like I said, ask them what their dominant arm is. It gives them confidence, okay? Ask about injuries. You don't want to be pushing on an elbow, shoulder, even a neck on that side. If they do have an injury in that regard, you're going to switch to the other side. Okay? All right. You want to test their polarity. It's important that your polarity is on and their polarity is on. So I usually sway test in the morning. I'll say, my name's Tracey. I fall forward. I know my polarity's on because that's my name. If I would have fell backwards on my name, then I know my polarity is reversed, and I got to do some sort of cross crawl, tapping. They do cross crawl squats with the eyes, things like that. But you know, basically, yeah, thymus tapping, whatever works. Okay? All right. Not to make eye contact. That's very important. You guys are powerful practitioners. You have powerful stares, and you're confident. You take somebody that's sick, who needs your help, and you stare them down when you're muscle testing, they're going to be like, whoa. you, they will not have any strength against you. So tell them, just look over my shoulder. I'm going to muscle test you. I usually keep my head down because it doesn't matter because they are just intensely staring at me to see what my result is. Okay? Make sure you're balanced and protected. Remember, your energy is always affected by other people's energy. Okay? So that simple technique of zipping up, throwing that key away from the pubic bone up into the lip, okay, will zip up your aura, zip up your energy. It'll protect you. You can use things like Centauri Bach flowers. You can use crystals to protect yourself. Of course, Lynn's not in the room to give me suggestions on those. Well, get back here. What's a protective crystal? Shunkite. Okay, so that's a black chunk crystal. Okay, and intention is everything. If you are standing with somebody and I say, you need B12, and I know it, and I test him for B12, do you think my intention is going to have a precedence there? Yes. Okay? Energy is energy, and as soon as I lay my hands on you, we are sharing energy. Okay? So if I think really strongly that's what you need, and I don't let your body talk to me, okay, I'm going to get the result I want. So there are practitioners out there that can use this against people, and there are practitioners that use it for the benefit of people. Be the latter, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take Candace. I'm going to walk up to her. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Can I muscle test you?
Yeah.
Okay, so may I touch you?
Mm-hmm.
And is this your dominant arm?
Dominant
All right, any injuries here?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to press down. I'm going to pull her arm a little bit forward, and I'm going to place my hand on top of her wrist. Some people use 2 fingers, some use 1. I use 1. And I'm going to literally push in a little bit, and when I go to push down, because I want to lock that shoulder capsule in, because I don't want to be pulling it out. Okay, and I'm going to press down to give her a test push. I'm going to push, resist. And I try not to say words like strong. I will say that if somebody is not resisting me. So if I say resist and they go down, I say resist and they go down, I say be strong, and then they'll go, okay? But if you say be strong every time, they're going to fight you, okay? So with guys, they really try to show you they're strong. Okay, and it's not a crack, it just is. I mean, they're strong, right? They want to be strong. So I will literally say to somebody, you're going to win. Okay, this is not, you'll win, you'll beat me, you're bigger than me. Let me push your arm, just resist, equal my pressure is what you're asking for. So resist, I'm going to check her polarity. Again, you can check it here and here, or I do it at the chest. So resist, okay, resist. Okay, so I turn my hand this way. Is this negative or positive? Okay, is her chest negative or positive? So if she's strong, I'm completing the circuit, right? It's like plugging in a lamp. Ching, light turns on. So my opposite polarity is equaling her opposite polarity, and we're completing a circuit. When I go like this, it's like 2 magnets. Ping, repels, okay, and she goes weak. That's why this is strong and this is weak. This is the same polarity as hers. This is the opposite, completes the circuit. Does that make sense? Okay, if it's backwards, I'm going to say, oh, you're backwards. Can you cross crawl for me? Mm-hmm. You know? And then I usually say there was really no reason for that. I just wanted you to see if you do it. All right, resist, resist. Okay, so then I'm going to go through and muscle test her for things that I might find as a deficiency. So pertaining to digestion, hydrochloric point is right here, right below the xiphoid process. Okay, so I can say, can you show me where your rib cage is? Okay, may I touch you? Mm-hmm. And if you're not comfortable touching your client, have them touch it. And you can still test. Resist. Resist. Oh, woman, you need Betazyme. So I know her hydrochloric is low. Okay, then if we go down about 2 inches from the xiphoid process here, we're going to test enzymes on the left side. Okay, so I'm going to say from that xiphoid process down to the left about 2 inches, right at about where the rib cage starts to turn, I'm going to say resist. Enzymes are good. She's good. Okay, right across on the other side is probiotics. Okay, so right here where the rib cage starts to turn is probiotics. So from the xiphoid, I'm going to go 2 inches over to the right. I'm going to find her rib cage. She's kind of ribby. Okay, resist. Probiotics a little bit low. So I might test her for the Frontier biotics. But what is her issue? Hydrochloric acid, right? Her enzyme activity is good. She's got lots of enzymes in there. She's just not activating them. She's not getting them out the door. Okay? So that's how you can test. Then you can walk through other points. Iodine, okay? We can go through lots of different points. Sodium and potassium are on the cheeks. And there are charts for this. Great charts from Nutritional Resources has a chart. You can look those guys up. They have an MRT chart. It's pretty good. Okay? Any questions on muscle testing? I first want you to practice just that feeling. What's it feel like? Ask permission, ask injuries, dominant arm. Make sure you get all those things. And then, whatever products you have, you're going to resist, you're going to muscle test those, right? So if I say, here, Candace, hold this. Resist. This is iodine. She doesn't need iodine. But if I would pull betazyme in, here, hold that. Okay, resist. And she goes strong. Keep that. Okay? Does that make sense? So all the products are over there. You're welcome. Just make sure that, they just get organized, put back maybe on the back table. Get your list. Check a few products. First, start your muscle testing. So I'm going to have you partner up with your partner again. Practice your muscle testing, and then we can test your recommendations. Thank you.